Hello. Let's make sure that I'm actually live. Yep, we're live. What up, party peeps? Yep.
I'm in the wrong place, so...
I'll wait till people come online first.
Yeah.
Hello, Callum. How you doing, mate? I have my cameraman right here. Yeah. Yeah, doing good, mate. Doing good. It's absolutely freezing here. It's so cold. And windy as. You're not gonna speak?
It's deadly. They're not gonna hear me. The microphone's too far away. They can't hear me.
Yeah.
It's so windy. I've had to set this microphone so low on the sensitivity so it picks up nothing else.
There's a lot of wind here. So, well, there's not much activity at the present moment. There's a Qantas A330, 300. No idea where she's going. Let's find out. Hey, Felix, how are you, mate? Okay, so that Qantas A330 I just showed, if that's the right word, is bound for Hong Kong. Queue of 127. Adios. I think I've actually been on that one. I might have. Let me check. No, not that one. Close though. I flew on Papa Foxtrot, not Papa Echo. Felix, it is very, very windy here. It's very cold. I can't imagine what it's like for you in New Zealand. Yes, Nathan, you do. I now understand why live streams are a bit weird. So in front of us we have China Eastern Airlines coming in from Hangzhou. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And it's been in the air, well, it just landed obviously, but it's been in the air for the last 9.5 hours. As well as Q-Link 163 Delta from Port Macquarie. We also have Cathay Pacific Flight 162 to Hong Kong, unexpectedly, taxiing straight towards us. Yes, it is different, Aiden. I have my cameraman, which I'm paying absolutely nothing. He's just shaking his head. I pay you with exposure.
Paying you a valuable experience.
Valuable experience.
I think this is the biggest channel I'm helping with the live stream and stuff, so...
This is the biggest you've got, mate. But yeah, not too much action at the present moment. Let's check the departures. In just a few moments, we should have QF81 bound for Singapore departing straight off runway 34 left. It's rolling now, so we should see it in a few seconds. Fingers crossed, Felix. Fingers crossed. Here we go. Here comes QF81. Hi, Matt. It's good to see you, mate. It's actually quite a good takeoff, honestly. Just before the stream started, we had a Vietnam Airlines aircraft depart for I think it was Hanoi, and it was shaking like crazy on takeoff. Not too long from now, we should have a Singapore A380 departing, which would be pretty good. It's actually off in the distance. We can just see it. My cameraman just told me I don't know which one that is. Yeah, I'm pretty well aware that you don't know. There you go. There's the Singapore A380. I think it's at base 62, if I'm not correct. Sorry for the shakiness. It's rather windy here. As you can see, my cameraman is quite cold. So, directly in front of us is Jetstar Flight 508, which is an A321neo. Not one of the super new ones. It's I think it's only a few months old in comparison. September 2024. So it's not the newest, but you know, still fairly new in the grand scheme of things. Now is QantasLink Flight 403 Delta, bound for Mildura. This is one of the most new Dash 8 400s, as you can tell by the numbers on the registration, 84 Alpha. Please let me know of the audio. I can't really tell if it's good or not. And a rocky climb out for QF 127 to Hong Kong. And Velocity, oh, we've got two Virgins. We've got Velocity 1139 bound for Ballina, a flight that one of the first ever Virgin flights I ever took. And just behind it is a 737-700, the smaller variant, the baby 737 as I like to call it, coming in from Brisbane. Cheers, guys. Matt, this is why I have this one here. Camera just almost fell over. Yes, it is very windy.
I saw my life flash before my eyes. My baby, don't fall.
How much is this setup again?
This camera is, I think, like 1,500 used.
Yeah, 1,500 used.
And
Not,
then that mic is like 1,300.
so it's quite an expensive setup. Oh, we have another Qantas 737 coming in from Melbourne. This is another split scimitar aircraft. The split scimitar is actually to reduce wake turbulence on departure, and just during the flight. It also reduces fuel burn. It's quite a good thing to have, and I'm surprised that Virgin doesn't, or Virgin and Qantas don't use it more. Matt, this is not Queensland. And now we've got another 737-700. This specific one, I've actually been on board. And it's bound for Melbourne, Velocity 834. They also need to clean the plane, Jesus. I've probably said this about 100 times, but it is incredibly windy here. Nathan, I saw one earlier, but there haven't been too many taxiing past at the moment. I saw one before. It was bound to Broken Hill, I believe. Not sure. I can't really remember. Lateral Gamer, yes, I did. I did see some Air New Zealand aircraft. We had a 787 before and an A320 Neo depart just before starting stream. Unfortunately, I didn't capture it, so not much I can do about that. Unfortunately, I'm not streaming on Tuesday as much as I'd like to. Yes, they are dirty. My cameraman has successfully, tied the whole setup to the gate, the fence in front of us. So, fingers crossed, nothing moves. Yeah, 50 km/h wind at the moment. Trust me, we can feel it.
Yeah, my camera's feeling good.
We're all feeling it. Oh yeah, I've also got a breakfast wrap from Hungry Jack's in my car that's just cooking right now.
It's probably warmer in the car than we are.
Yeah.
We should just sit in the car, drive the car out here.
I don't think that's allowed.
No, I'm sure we can get it on.
Honestly, I'm starving. You know what? You can hold the stream for a little bit.
I.
Don't say anything dumb.
Hello. Look at him go. Look at him go. He's running. He's running. I don't know what to say. It is freezing out here. That's all I can say. He's running back. He's waving. Oh, there's a pole right in the way. Hopefully I was entertaining. I don't know what to do. You can have this back.
Has he said anything weird?
Don't make them think I'm weird. I'm not. I'm totally normal.
You want to bet? You're hanging around me. By the way, it's like 20 degrees warmer in the car. You know, Mouse, I should get him on your stream.
Huh?
He might enjoy it.
What?
Oh, it's a member in the chat. Oh, I can just see in the distance there's a A380 from Singapore Airlines currently pushing back, and a Latam 787-9 being pulled into the stand, and a Jetstar A320 that's just landed on the main runway from, my guess is Adelaide. No, Hobart. Jetstar 718.
Expert tracking. Oh, I'm gonna get paid for this. I do turn it's
9 viewers so far, not bad.
Oh, it's so much better. Look how much brighter the screen is now. I can actually see it.
Yeah. Ooh, we have a Dash 8 departing. Oh, it's the same one from before. It's the 84 Alpha. Which, now I said before that it is a relatively new aircraft. By that I mean it's new to the Qantas Link fleet. The actual aircraft is about 12 years old. About half my age. I can just see off in the distance. The camera won't be able to capture it. There is an A330-200 taxiing down. I presume that's probably either going to Melbourne, Brisbane, or Perth. Don't worry, you don't have to track it.
I'd like to try it.
Yeah, it's too far off. It's like all the way down there.
Okay. Oh yeah, I see now.
So, what arrivals do we have today that are going to be interesting? We've got a Scoot 787 from Singapore, a Fiji Airways A350 from Nandi. Oh, an A350 coming from Shanghai. Ooh, there is this A321neo that was supposed to arrive at 1 o'clock today, so in about 2 hours' time, from Rarotonga, but unfortunately it got diverted to Auckland. That's interesting. Must have been a domestic flight for them. We do have a few Rex subs coming in later on. I do have to mention that later on in the day, we will be doing an hour break because, you know, it's very cold and I don't know how long we can handle this.
My nose is gonna fall off.
My cameraman just said that his nose is about to fall off. Yes, there is an Emirates 777 over at the freighter gates. Oh, at 4. Oh, that'll be good. And the 747 is at 3:39. That's not too bad. We also have an A330-300 coming from Chengdu. Oh, and a 787-9 coming from Beijing. Oh, and Qantas 64 coming from Johannesburg. That'll be good. I think the last departure or arrival from the last arrival that I'm going to be filming today will be the UPS 747-400 coming from Honolulu. That should be a good ending to today. So we've got an A330 coming. I believe this is the one that I was just talking about. Yeah, Qantas flight 645 from obviously from Sydney, but going to Perth. Registration Echo Bravo Charlie. Oh yeah, Zulu Romeo Juliet coming from Parks. That's not too far away. The one from Joburg. Yeah, delayed till 6:47. Sorry, 4:47. Can anyone tell me what my favorite, or does anyone know what my favorite seat on the A330-200 is? I'll give you a hint. It's behind the wings. And now we have quite a notable size difference. Is the Qantas Link Dash 8 Q400 bound for Albury. Felix, I wish the jump seat was my favorite seat. I've never sat in the jump seat. In the jump seat, at least not while it's in the air. Because of the way the laptop is positioned, the wind keeps on pushing the screen down. So I'm sorry if you ever see this view. It's not intentional. Shut up. I'm gonna take over the camera for a moment. Just in the distance, we have a Qantas A330-300 flying to Tokyo's Haneda Airport, and stealing the show is a Jetstar A320 coming from Launceston. 2 Tassie flights in one go. Damn. we're having to secure my laptop with 2 cables. Hello, MJ. That's pretty cool, mate. That's really cool. Oh, you lucky Aiden. I wish I could go back to Tokyo. Currently, at the moment, I don't have money. That's why I'm not paying this one. Womp womp. Now here goes that Dash 8 bound for Albury. Should get there in approximately an hour, maybe an hour and a bit. Nathan, I presume you're the best seat, or your favorite seat on the Rex Saab 340 would probably be 10 Alpha, though I'm not sure. Or SQ232, another flight that I've been on, is now, which before I started my channel, unfortunately I should have started it sooner, is now taxiing out to the main runway. That'll be a really good departure. We'll get to see the winds in action. And now just coming off the runway, the main runway here, 3-4 left, is Velocity 829, which is coming in from Melbourne. Now this aircraft is actually special for me because it was my first time ever flying as openly gay. I was on board, it was the Pride flight from Adelaide to Sydney. Why 8 Alpha? Alright, now taxiing straight in front of us, Victor Hotel, Victor Yankee Alpha, a Qantas 737-800, going to Melbourne. And followed directly behind is Qantas Link Flight 17 Delta, or 2017, which is another Dash 8 Q400, flying to Broken Hill. Oh, Callum, that'll be good for you. My next major plan is, well, it's actually next week, is I'm flying to New Zealand. And here, departing off runway 34 left, is China Eastern 562 bound for Shanghai Pudong Airport. I unfortunately have never flown with China Eastern, and I think I have. No, yes I have. It was between here and Auckland, out of all places. Quite a random flight. Yes, I know it has good zoom. That's why I picked you to do the camera work and not myself. Sorry. Cameraman just said, why didn't I bring gloves? Well, I didn't think it was going to be this windy and this cold. I should probably eat my wrap, honestly, because it's going to get really cold.
Hold your laptop.
Over there is much more dangerous. So now we have a trio of aircraft taxiing around. Coming off 3-4 left is Velocity 833 coming in from Melbourne. Behind that is the Singapore A380, as I said before, bound for obviously Singapore. And just behind that, something a little bit more interesting is a Philippine Airlines A330-300 bound for Manila. I think the Philippine tail is one of the prettiest out there. Second only best to Air Tahiti Nui, or Air Tahiti Nu, however you pronounce it. Unfortunately, Border Force won't let me bring back pies, as much as I'd like to. Felix, make sure you have a pie ready for me when I get there. And here we go. Qantas 645 bound for Perth, departing. Whoa! That is cool. That's quite the turbulence on takeoff. I don't know how well my cameraman got the shot, but as it passed the trees off to the left, the wings were rocking like crazy. Oh, I can just see off over at the international departures, a Jetstar 787-8 has pushed back. Oh, excuse me. Bound for Seoul, South Korea. Another destination I would really, really like to go back to. What? My go-to seats on a Saab 340, regardless of its location, is always one Alpha and one Foxtrot or Delta, whichever is on the right-hand side. Oh, no, sorry, one Charlie and 10 Alpha. But every now and then I get forced into seats that I don't really want to choose, like for example 9 Alpha or 8 Alpha, or even 6 Charlie. Unfortunately, when that happens, I just have to suck it up. But it's always better to get one Charlie. It's always better to get one Charlie and 10 Alpha. That's just my go-to. E-scooter, is that like the scooter things, or is that like a bike? Because if it's I can't ride a bike. I'm one of those weird people that just can't ride one. Felix will go there. And Qantas 59 off to Haneda. Or Haneda, as it should be properly pronounced. And yet another QantasLink Q400 bound for Griffith. Lima, Quebec, Charlie. Funnily enough, I actually prefer sitting behind at the very last row on the left-hand side of a Dash 8 rather than the front. I just think that sitting at the front of the aircraft is always better for views. I don't really like the whine of the engines, if that makes sense. Cheers, Nathan. I'll see you in like a month and a bit, when I have a job. Oh, and just coming off the runway now is Scoot Flight 2 from Singapore. I know I've had so many requests to do Scoot from Singapore, but I just find that they're, for some reason, just too expensive from Singapore to here. I know that sounds a bit crazy, but they've always been like $400 or $500 for a low-cost carrier between Singapore and Sydney. I could get business class on Jetstar for that. Indeed, you are correct. Callum, yeah, sitting at the end at the back half of the aircraft, you're more likely to survive if the plane crashes.
That's wild, though. Oh, okay, it's like,
I know. You should see it on this.
looks that good.
So good. And now, departing straight above us is that flight to Broken Hill. And a sweeping left turn to set up a course to Broken Hill. Oh, we have another Dash 8 taxiing past us. This one here coming in from Coffs Harbour. I actually have a mate in Coffs who's been begging me to come up. A note about this aircraft is you might see on the left-hand side, engine number 1 is currently switched off. This is due to fuel-saving procedures and noise abatement procedures. Callum, I sit wherever the views are good. Ooh, that is cold. Yeah, I should have brought a second jacket. Oh my god. Or the Singapore Airlines A380 has just commenced its takeoff roll at the very end of 34 left. We should be seeing it in just under a minute now. But in the meantime, I can see 2 aircraft ahead of us taxiing. The 787-8 as stated with Jetstar going to Seoul. But in the distance is Cebu Pacific. It's an A330-900 Neo. Frankly, the better version of the A330 in my opinion. Bound for Manila. Cebu Flight 40, and I can just hear the Singapore Airlines in the distance, so we'll be seeing that in about 5 seconds. Effortless. It never ceases to amaze me how these big metal machines can get in the air.
Amount of wind I could get in the air.
His hands are cold.
Oh my god.
Ah, it's not that bad. Really? Cheers, Gaston. Hey, mate. How's the US? Is it nice and warm? It's freezing here.
Freezing for us is different from freezing for them.
Yeah, true. It's like, I don't even know what the temperature is. Let's check. Currently it's 15.6 degrees, but it feels like 8. Or that's like what? 50 degrees Fahrenheit to like 30 degrees, 40 degrees Fahrenheit? Something like that. I'm not overly sure about the Fahrenheit conversion. Correct, Felix. It is so much safer to get on a plane than it is to get to the airport. Every time the wind picks up, we're both like shivering. I couldn't have picked a worse day to do streaming. So, directly ahead of us is another China Eastern Airlines A330, but this time it's a 200 version, and this one is, don't know how to pronounce it, so forgive me if I butcher it. It's flying to Jinan, and about to steal the show is a Jetstar A320, I was about to say A330 there, flying to Proserpine, which is a beautiful destination. It would be so much better to be up there than it is down here. I'm actually curious. Let's see what the temperature in Proserpine is. In Proserpine at the moment, it's 26.5 degrees, which is Sounds so good right now. 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Geez, that's quite cold. Ooh. So, in front of us we have a 767 by DHL flying from Auckland, operated by Tasman Cargo Airlines. Also in the distance is that Philippine Airlines bound for Manila. Bit of a rocky climb out. Thank you. Another American, well, I'm not American, but an American that finally understands how bad Fahrenheit is. It's so difficult to understand. Except for negative 40. That's also negative 40. I just randomly know that. Oh, that is so cold. My cameraman just said that the cables are all blowing away. Luckily, so I don't know if you've seen the title of the stream. It says part 1. The stream will be stopping in approximately 1 hour's time, and we will be moving to another location, and we'll be starting an hour after we stop. That gives us enough chance to, you know, go to the bathroom, have something to eat, and then obviously move. We're going to be moving to the old control tower, which is also directly in front of us. Which I am now getting my cameraman to zoom in. That's where we will be moving. Callum, you have no idea how cold it is today. It feels like 8 degrees. It's nice when the breeze isn't on, because we got the sun beating down on top of us. And here comes a Jetstar A320 coming in from the Gold Coast. Victor Foxtrot Juliet. Yeah, this is one aircraft I've been on before. And straight above it, Qantas Link Flight 123 Delta bound for Griffith. Another place that I've been to before. I was really fortunate on that flight to be able to fly on the 200 version of the Dash A. It's not one that I've ever been on before. Well, until then. Yeah, I know, Callum, T4 is really bad. It's a awful spot to plane. It's great views, but it's awful because it's freezing there. Just in the distance now is a Xiamen Air, a 787-9 Dreamliner bound for Xiamen, which is just near Hong Kong, sort of like halfway between Hong Kong and Taipei. It's still part of the Chinese mainland, so it is a Chinese Chinese aircraft. It's one airline that I've been wanting to try for a while, but I've never really had the reason to go to Xiamen. Hong Kong is different because it's a hub airport. And now taxiing off 34 left is a Qantas flight 736 from Adelaide, Victor Hotel, Victor X-Ray Foxtrot. I can't remember if I've been on this one or not, but I probably have. Adios, Felix. Hope you have a good day, mate. And now, my rival airline. This here is a Skytrans Dash 8 Q200 bound for Lord Howe Island. one place I've been wanting to go for a very, very long time. The only reason I haven't gone is because each way costs well over $500, and it's now operated by Skytrans, which is, in my opinion, the worst airline in Australia. The windsock is somewhere over there. And rocketing off 34 left. Jetstar flight JQ 47 to Seoul. Very jealous of those people on board. I hope they enjoy their holiday. No, Callum, it's a Q200, not a Q100. I think that the fact that it's Skytrans just makes it even worse. I don't know if anyone knows about the beef I have between Skytrans and myself, is that I've tried to fly on them 3 times, and every time I fly, they either cancel the flight, they cancel the flight, or they reschedule it, and then they do not offer a refund, even though that they cancelled the flight. Not fair in my opinion, and a very unhelpful airline. Considering now that they have a partnership with Qantas, I think it might be better now to fly with them, because at least there is some sort of security, but I still wouldn't trust it. Just looking at Flight Radar 24, there are a few aircraft that are currently on stand waiting to be pushed back. So, for example, there's currently QF27 to Santiago. There is a Thai Airways A350 over up at the North International Gates, getting ready to go to Bangkok. There is another Dash 8 to Ballina that's about to be pushed back, and a Virgin Australia 737-800 going to the Sunshine Coast, or Maroochydore, that will be departing fairly soon. Wow, that's pretty good, honestly. Oh my god! That is quite the lens zoom. Yeah, I can just see in the distance now the QF74, it's not 747, I wish we still had those. The 787 flying to Chile is just being pushed back now as we speak. And just coming off the runway now, spoilers still up and reverses still open, is Jetstar Flight 606 from Avalon. This was actually my most recent flight that I've taken, even though I flew on Flight 608. Which departs in approximately 3 hours' time. All in all, I am so glad you were here, because my word, I would not have been able to do this without you.
Yeah, I mean, you could plug the camera in, plug the mic in. That's all you kind of need to do, but like, I'm not talking to you.
No, I want you to hold it.
Oh my god, it's so warm. So windy. You had to choose the windiest day to do this.
It's not my fault that the weather is crap today. It might look nice, but it's not.
Looks nice and sunny.
And the China Eastern's A330 bound for Jinan. Put your hands in your pocket for a moment. We haven't got any aircraft departing at the moment. And here comes a Jetstar A321neo coming in from Adelaide. This aircraft, Victor Hotel, Victor Whiskey Whiskey, I have been on more times than I can count. I have sat in probably almost every single seat of this plane at this point. I think there is 2 reviews of this aircraft currently on the channel, mainly in row 30. I think that's the best seat, honestly, or the best row to sit on in the A330. Oh, sorry, the A321. You good there?
No.
Next up, Qantas 737-800, Victor Hotel, Victor Zulu Papa, coming in from Brisbane, Qantas 517. I would much rather prefer to be in Brisbane right now, where it's nice and warm. Oh, I've just noticed on final approach at the moment is a A350-900 coming in from Nandi. That would be a nice place to be. Cameraman's currently viewing his shots, and yeah, they are pretty good. I should really call you by your real name instead of just cameraman. By the way, everyone, this is Vinny.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for finally introducing me.
Shush.
Oh, wow. That's quick.
Whoa, look at him go. He's climbing fast. Jetstar A320-200, bound for Proserpine. I don't know if you can see in the shots that Vinny is currently taking, but there are a lot of people here at Shep's Mound today. Actually, almost too many, honestly.
They're all on the outside, please.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. More than likely, it probably has been to Melbourne recently. No idea. Vinny just asked me why is there a lot of temporary fencing up. I have no clue. I don't know if you can see in the shots, but currently in front of us, Sydney Airport is currently doing a redo of the fencing here. So we've got like these thick, proper like black metal barriers with I don't know if they're electrified or not at the top. There might be just barbed wire.
They're not. Otherwise, they'd have yellow warning signs all over.
But it's to replace the old barbed wire, the silver barbed wire that's around the taxiways. And here we go. Here comes the A350 from Fiji Airways, Delta Quebec Foxtrot Alpha Mike, or FAM, coming in from Nandi. I recently have been looking at getting on board this flight. However, the flights that I've been wanting to take don't necessarily line up, or rather they don't give me enough time on the ground to connect. Yeah, correct. That it is permanent fencing. I presume once the fencing is complete, because it's still under construction at the moment, the old fencing will be removed, I presume. And now, another 737-800, Yankee Foxtrot Zulu, coming in from the Gold Coast. Vinny just said he doesn't. He never really understood. Realized, sorry, how many planes arrive and take off every day. Yeah, there's a lot. They apparently a 737 all over the world takes off every like 3 seconds or something, which is insane. Yeah, I agree. It is a rather bad change for Sheps having all this disgusting fencing. And here we go, the A330-900 Neo, flying to Manila, Cebu Pacific. I would not want to be on that aircraft, because considering the configuration, For those of you who don't know, that aircraft is one of the most highly configured aircraft out there. Like pretty much every single seat on board is economy. And it's like 29 inches. Whoa! Oh my god! What Vinny is currently filming is a car in the car park here that, no joke, just did about 40 kilometers per hour reversing. Yeah, literally. New. And here comes a Qantas 787-9, as stated before, to Santiago de Chile. It's a 6,000 nautical mile journey. Quite the fair distance. And also one of the loneliest flights in the world. And here we have Qantas Link flight 2062, or just 62 Delta, flying to Ballina. This is one flight I've been wanting to take for a while now, but I've never really had the opportunity, nor have I found it cheap enough. We have a lineup of jets coming past us now. We also have another Dash 8 Q400, this time going to Wagga Wagga, which is in the middle of nowhere. Victor Hotel Lima Quebec Golf. Honestly, other than the Saab, I think the Dash 8 is one of the most sexy prop aircraft out there. But that's just me. That's just my opinion. And here we go quickly, is the Xiamen Air 787 flying to Xiamen. And now Vinny is currently filming the 737-800 manufactured by Boeing, flying to the Sunshine Coast, or Maroochydore. Whoa, it's really windy, my god. And now, taxiing back, arriving, shall I say, from Melbourne is a Qantas 737-800, registered as Victor Hotel Victor X-Ray Quebec. I definitely know that you can't see it, but also in the foreground, just below us, is the AFP. Please don't arrest me. Or should I say arrest us? Don't say that. Well, now while I have another minute, I am going to eat some more because I am starving. I haven't eaten anything since yesterday.
This guy's a nerd.
You're also a nerd about computers and filming and stuff. I'm a nerd about planes.
I mean, yeah, this is my camera, so... touche. That's gonna fall off. It's too light now.
I have to hold it. I have to hold it.
Stick it in your drum pod.
Good point.
No way, pockets. Oh, look, the cable disappeared.
And now Victor Hotel, Victor Uniform Romeo, and stealing the show is Lima Quebec Golf flying to Wagga. Callum, I hope not. I haven't done anything wrong. I tried to apply for them once. And the ABF. I also tried to apply to work up there. Can't really see it because the camera isn't angled properly, but it's the control tower. This is why Vinny is good, and this is why I need him. He does my work for me. I just stand here and commentate the entire time.
Stand there and nerd out. I actually love operating Sony cameras, just like it. Because they're like 4K, they have like crazy things as well and shit.
And departing off 3-4 left is the 7879 bound for Santiago de Chile. Flight time of approximately, I think, 14 hours, if I'm not correct. Quite the lengthy flight. If I ever go to South America, I probably will take that flight. And now, taxiing out is X-Ray Zulu Echo, which is one of the newer 737s in the Qantas fleet, joining approximately 12 years ago. This one is bound for Melbourne and also has the split scimitar winglets. One day I will make a video with that title, Split Scimitar. I think they're quite cool, honestly. And finally, we have our first Rex Saab 340 taxiing out. It is a Saab 340B Plus bound for Merimbula, sorry. Zulu Romeo Charlie. Rex also happens to be the largest Saab 340 operator in the entire world, with 57 in their fleet. You can find them pretty much in almost every single state and territory in the country, excluding for the Northern Territory, for some unknown reason. I think it would have been, I think they should operate in Darwin, but then again, it's up to them. And something interesting that has just pulled in is an air ambulance operated by the Pel Air, coming in from Coffs Harbour. This is a Beechcraft 350 King Air Charlie. Also happens to be one of my most favorite small regional aircraft. Can fit up to like 5 or 6 people, excluding the pilots, or one person, or one medical emergency. You good there, Vinny?
No. Dying slightly.
I mean, so am I. Gotta move, keep yourself warm. Oh, we have another Beechcraft King Air coming out. This one is bound for Moree. I think this actually might be the flagship of the air ambulance fleet, because its registration is Victor Hotel Alpha Mike Sierra, which is AMS, or ambulance. I think A and B might be the flagship, or the PC-24 that's in the fleet. And here comes the Beechcraft King Air, like I just said, Alpha Mike Sierra. I've actually been offered by a mate that lives nearby me to get on one of these flights. I haven't really accepted it yet, as because I haven't had the time. Taxiing in, or landing rather, is Qantas Flight 642 from Perth. Departed approximately 5 hours ago. This is one of the first Perth arrivals today, because it departed at 6:05 in the morning. Yeah, Callum, we are dying. It is, I don't know if I've made it clear. It's freezing and very windy. Alrighty, taxiing out to runway 34, I think it might be left, is Qantas Link Flight 2162 or 162 Delta, flying to Port Macquarie. This is also one of the newer Dash 8s in the fleet, as you can tell by the 8.4 in the registration. Now, as I said before, even though it has 8.4 even though it's new in the fleet, the aircraft still is 11 years old. I know it's cold. It really isn't that cold in the sense, like, temperature-wise. It's the wind chill that makes it cold. When the wind stops, it's actually quite a nice temperature. Yeah. And here we go, the first Rex departure of the day. Or on the stream, to Merimbula. I actually do have a need to get on one of these. Whoa, look at it go. That is a very rocky takeoff. I'm surprised we actually haven't turned to the east-west runway yet, because the winds are coming from the west. Now, we've got quite a large one about to taxi past. And this aircraft I will be on fairly soon. This is a LATAM 787-9 bound for initially Auckland and then onwards to Santiago de Chile. If you're a member of my Discord server, you will know that I've had quite the issues with Qantas, because I booked this flight through Qantas, but I can't get a booking reference, so I can't actually change my seat. So I'm currently stuck in the seat that Qantas gave me, which is 26 Alpha. It's sort of just in front of the back end of the wings. I want to move a little bit further back, or all the way in front of the wings, but we'll see how we go. Hello, Owen. You're welcome to join me if you're in the area. Though I don't know if you really want to, it's freezing. So we are currently 1 hour and 5 minutes into the stream. We have 55 minutes left until the break, which is when we will be moving locations to escape the wind. An alternate, I'm going to take control of the camera for a second. An alternate location of where I was going to choose to film is all the way up there. But unfortunately, when I checked last time I was there, no filming is permitted. Yes, really. Vinny just asked me, really? No filming permitted? Yes. No filming is allowed up there.
We're not filming that, we're streaming. Technically.
They'll still tell you to stop. Whew. I wonder why. I don't know why.
Then learn.
I couldn't be bothered. Do your job. Oh really? You can film from the bar? I didn't know that. Oh well, there you go. So, taxiing out right now is an ANA or All Nippon Airways, operated by Air Japan, flight ANA 890, bound for Tokyo Haneda. ANA, honestly, one of the best Japanese airlines out there. I have never tried JAL, so I can't really give a proper comparison, but ANA is still a good airline. Huh? This man, I swear to God. Now, yet another Dash 8 Q400 is flying to Dubbo. Q-Link flight 2040 or 40 Delta. You need to come to Singapore, Callum, and spot the Lufthansa 747, the one that I took. I'm hungry. Yeah, we will get Macca's when we go past.
You're paying, right?
I'm not made of money.
You're not paying me to do the camera, Starley, so you need to give me money.
I got you breakfast. Yeah, I do remember Callum, but still. Quite quiet at the moment. We have quite a lot of aircraft waiting to be pushed back, including several 737s. Oh yeah, true. Standing this way is so much better. Oh my god. So we've got several 737s, an A320 that's currently pushing back, an A321neo that's currently pushing back, many Dash 8s, many 737s, and about to depart is that same Dash 8 to Dubbo. Whoa! Callum, go to Singapore simply to go to the Jewel. The Jewel is fantastic. Whoa, it got really windy really quickly. The weather today is brutal. Yeah, we both are. So, taxiing out yet another 737-800 is Victor Hotel, Victor Zulu uniform, a split scimitar winglet 737-800, bound for Brisbane. Qantas flight 516. Owen, are you in Sydney? You need to charge. We need to get this phone on the charge, otherwise we're going to lose the stream. Yeah, because my phone is not working at the moment, like my hotspot. So, just as you can see, departing off the runway, ANA flight 890 bound for Tokyo's Haneda Airport. And just off in the distance, taxiing down, my word, I'm going to pop this down here so it doesn't drop, is China Eastern Airlines flight 792 bound for Nanjing. Owen, you should come to the ship's mound. Come join me. Though you might want to pack warmly. It's freezing here.
Bring us some gloves.
Please bring gloves. Ooh, this is an interesting one taxiing out. So we currently have taxiing straight at us is a Garuda Indonesia 777-300ER, or just as the short term 777 Whiskey, is flying from from Sydney to Jakarta. However, this is not just any Garuda Indonesia aircraft. This is a special livery aircraft, the Sky Team livery. Quite a unique livery, honestly.
It gets low res when you zoom in this far, but it is amazing how much.
Well, then don't zoom in that far if it's going to be low res. Behind us departing is that Latam 787 bound for Auckland, which I will be flying on relatively soon. Yeah, I hate it when airports do that. They just change runways for no reason. That once happened to me when I was flying into, where was it? It was flying into London Gatwick, which was recent. They changed runways last minute. We were supposed to be flying into, I think, runway 04, then they changed to runway 22. Oh my god, that's bad. I'm turning this way so that way the wind isn't that bad. Actually, I'm going to say this. Don't join part 1 of the stream in real life because it is way too cold for you guys to be out here.
It's too cold for us to be out here.
The good thing is when we change, the sun is also, because the sun is moving in this direction, the sun will also be in the prime location for the other side of the field so we can shoot eastward. Callum, shush. Hold on, listen to this.
We are not being dramatic. This is deadly.
Thank you. I think this was about as bad as the last time I went to Wellington. It was rather windy when I was there. Okay, let's see what's departing and arriving now. Oh, we've got an A350 coming in from Shanghai soon, in about 5 minutes. And some more 737s coming in. Yeah. That's how it works. Okay, we've now got a trio of aircraft coming up that are taxiing out to runway 34 right. that it's so cold. First of all, we have a Jetstar Airbus A321neo. Oscar Yankee Tango, bound for Perth. Should take them approximately 4.5, maybe 5 hours to get there, depending on wind. Tell me, do you prefer sitting in front of these massive engines or behind the wings? Callum, I know you're used to I know you're used to Melbourne. Next up is another Dash 8 Q400 bound for Armadale as Qantas Link Flight 2022. And lastly, a Virgin Australia 737-800 bound for Melbourne as Velocity 838. This aircraft I also happened to fly on, but I didn't film because I didn't think that it was going to be interesting. However, unfortunately, I didn't realize that the aircraft was going to have split scimitar winglets until the last minute. And stealing the show is a China Eastern A330-200 bound for Nanjing. Vinny just said that he loves the smell. Yeah, it smells of avgas. Or Jet A1 rather. A little bit of history about Shep's Mound. The area that's currently in front of where the cars are used to be a like a scrap metal yard or like spare parts for the airport. I actually have a few old photos of the area, and unfortunately they cleaned it up, so there's no interesting pieces down there. I remember there used to be I think it was an A330 turbofan engine sitting down there, which would have been so cool to go up to. Why is everyone going to Japan? Because Japan is awesome. Yes, I know, Shiza. It's quite cold. All I can say is I am so glad that we tied everything to the fence. Otherwise, this would have fallen down by now.
20 times.
Oh yeah, minimum 20 times. Stay there. So now taxiing out to 34 right is another Qantas 737-800 QF441 bound for Melbourne. Victor Hotel, Victor X-Ray Golf. I have been on this very aircraft once in the past, but I did not film the flight. And stealing the show is the Garuda Indonesia 777-300 bound for Jakarta. Specifically Soekarno-Hatta Airport. God, I wish I was going there right now. Yes, I'm aware that that Sydney Airport doesn't have avgas. It's easier than saying Jet A1. And in the distance is a 787-9 operated by Air New Zealand, or as they stupidly say on every flight, this Star Alliance flight operated by Air New Zealand, flying to Auckland as NZ104. Should take them about 3 hours to get there. Owen, which flight are you referring to? Next up, taxiing out is another Dash 8 Q400, Qantas Link 2004, as Lima Quebec Lima, flying off to Tamworth. Or as I like to call it, the middle of nowhere. Tamworth is quite boring. What's in Tamworth? Nothing. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Vinny just said that another one, meaning talking about the Dash 8s. Yes, there are a lot of Dash 8s that fly out of Sydney. Oh, I didn't realize that that flight was supposed to have split scimitar winglets. Oh, I think the aircraft was changed last minute, and so until I got and saw the actual plane departing, I didn't know what I was getting into. And this flight, QF 439 Delta or 1439, bound for the capital city of Canberra. Why would you want to go there? Exactly, no clue. You should see Vinny right now. He's dying. And departing off 34 left is Jetstar flight JQ 986 bound for Perth. Okay, everyone, I just want to remind you all that we have 40 minutes left of the current stream. We will be stopping for 1 hour as Vinny and I pack up and move to our second location, sorry. And also eat and warm up for a bit because it is, oh Jesus, very cold. But we will be back, so we will be stopping at approximately 1 o'clock, and then we will be continuing at 2 o'clock until approximately 4:30. Melbourne Cricket Ground, yeah, I've never been, but I know of it. I've watched games of it, or like cricketers playing. Oh, this is an interesting one coming. So FYI, both of our noses are running. It's quite crazy. And departing, oh, that's a rocky takeoff. Departing off runway 34 left is Qantas Link flight 439 Delta, bound for Canberra. I have been thinking of recording another flight from Canberra back to Sydney when I eventually do fly to Nandi, because I want to do Nandi to Canberra, because I think that might be interesting. But at the moment, we'll just have to wait and see how we go. Now, taxiing out on Charlie Way, I think it's Charlie or it's either Bravo, it's one of the two, is Jetstar flight 890, bound for Hervey Bay, which is just north of Brisbane. A couple hours drive north of Brisbane. It's a flight that I've also wanted to take, but not necessarily with Jetstar, maybe more with Virgin. We'll see how we go. Also, Victor Golf Victor is another A320 which I have stepped on board. I think that was like a freak breeze or something, because that was a really strong breeze out of nowhere. We both grabbed the camera and like my stuff. There's now barely anyone here at Shep's Mound. There's like 2-3 people. Or maybe like 5. Excluding us. Because it's too rough being here. Now, taxiing off 34 left is China Eastern Airlines flight 735 and Airbus A350-900 coming from Shanghai Pudong Airport. Forgive me, I have my moments. Taxiway Charlie. I wonder which aircraft... He's like dying over here. I wonder what aircraft is going to be taking me from Auckland to Wellington in a bit. I wonder which aircraft it's going to be. Don't worry, we've only got 30 minutes to go.
Thank God.
I can just see off in the distance that there's another A330 taxiing down. I don't know where it's flying to yet, but I will have a look in a moment. Or maybe it's... No, it's not. Vinny, move over. No, it is not being... It's not currently taxiing down to us. It is currently being pulled to the international terminal. It might be flying maybe to New Zealand or Pacific Islands or even Asia. I don't really know.
Aren't you happy I got you along forward so you can...
Yeah, I know. I can walk quite a far distance from the camera. This is about as far as I can go. And departing off 34 left is NZ Flight 104, bound for Auckland in New Zealand, or New Zealand. I know. It's just a cable. Yes, Callum, I will be going to Wellington as well, and including Hamilton. I will be flying on the inaugural Jetstar Hamilton to Sydney flight in approximately a week's time. And the video should be coming approximately a week after that. This one here sounds like a grandpa right now because he's dying from the cold. Can you die quieter, please? My God. What airline I'm going to be flying? So, Latam, Air New Zealand Link, Jetstar New Zealand, and Jetstar. So technically 3 airlines, but also technically 4. Yeah, I know the cold is quite gross. Alright, taxiing off the main runway here at Sydney Kingsford Smith International Airport is Velocity Flight 550 from Perth, a 737-800. I got swatted away using the camera. And now taxiing past us is a Jetstar A320, Jetstar Flight 410, another flight that I have taken. Also, at a similar aircraft I've taken, Victor Hotel Victor Foxtrot Juliet, we'll be flying to the Gold Coast. Or Coolangatta, whichever one you want to call it. For most people, if you don't know, the reason why Gold Coast Airport's 3-letter symbol is OOL is for Coolangatta, not for Gold Coast. I think it should be GCA, but not up to me. Vinny is pleading for me to set this up in the car. Do you really think we'll be able to set this up in the car? If you want to try. Sit in the boot. Hey, Callum, I've never heard of a Saab 330. Can you please tell me what that is? Hello, Melbourne Plane Spotter. Good to see you, mate. Currently taxiing out of the domestic terminal, Terminal 2, is Velocity Flight 418 bound for Adelaide. Yankee Whiskey Delta. I think I've flown on this one. I'm not quite sure. I'd need to check. But, yeah. Yeah, I know, Callum. I know you didn't mean to do 330. I cannot believe what I just heard. Okay, directly in front of us, we've got an Airbus A380 operated by a certain airline that operates out of Doha, though it's currently on your screen, and he called it Qatar. I've never heard of Qatar Airways. I think you'll find it's called Qatar Airways. Or if you want to do it in the proper pronunciation, Qatar. That's alright, Nathan, no problem. Victor Foxtrot Kilo. I probably have been on Victor Foxtrot Kilo. I'd need to check. Alright, and taxiing of runway 34 left at a very high speed is Qantas Flight 436 coming in from Melbourne, Victor Hotel, Victor Yankee Delta. I believe I have been on this one. I'm not 100% certain. The AFP are back. Has anyone seen the TV show The Rookie? Because there is a particularly hilarious comedy skit in the show where they go, "Oh, please arrest me. Arrest me, but make it sexy."
Oh, yeah, I heard that song.
It's hilarious. Yeah, freaky too. I don't know why they brought that character into the show. So if anyone hasn't seen season 7 of The Rookie, they brought in the singer of the song Daddy Cop into season 7, and he's now spoiler alert, he's now Selena's partner. And it's rather weird because it kind of doesn't work. It does, but it doesn't, if that makes sense. Oh, Callum, I'm sorry, mate. I'm so sorry. Aris, yep, you're correct. Qatar. I've never heard of Qatar. You're welcome. Oh, that's cold. So we haven't really got to anything that's too particularly interesting landing yet until the stream stops. We don't really have... Oh, we do have a few interesting things that'll be taking off. What we will be doing is I will continue to stream until the Malaysian A330-300 departs at 1:05. So that gives us approximately around 45 minutes left. And then we will stop for an hour. So that way, Vinny and I can recover. And then we will start again. We also have an interesting lineup of flights departing. For example, some flights to Toowoomba, Avalon, Port Macquarie, Melbourne, Shanghai, Auckland, Singapore, Kuala Lumpur. We've got a mix. In total, around 4:30, I will stop. But so at the moment, I'm going to be streaming this. So if you've noticed the title, it says Part 1. So Part 1 will stop at about 1 o'clock, approximately. So I currently have up on my screen up here the time of how long we've been streaming for, and so far it says 1 hour and 35 minutes. So I will continue to stream until it hits 2 hours, or until the Malaysian. We will continue to stream until the Malaysian A330 departs at 1:05. So that gives us 45 minutes left of the stream, and then we will be stopping for 1 hour. So that way, Vinny and I can get something to eat, use the bathroom, and then drive to the next location, which, as I said before, will be the old control tower, or otherwise known as the beach. and then after that, I will continue to stream until approximately 4:30 p.m. or until something happens, or unless Vinny decides he's had enough, because it's really bloody cold. And then that will be it. And then I won't stream again probably until I hit 4,000 subscribers. So if you want to see me stream again, get those subscribers up. Please, please, I need them. I need money. Nah, I'm joking. I do this for you guys. I do it for fun. I'm not giving you the money I earned. I'll buy you stuff with the money, but I'm not giving it to you.
Buy me a new camera.
I'm not buying you a new camera. You've got a pretty good one right there. I'll buy you like lunch or something. Interestingly, just over to our right is a British Airways 787-9 that's currently being towed over to the international terminal for Speedbird Flight 16, I believe, to London Heathrow via Singapore. That is quite a long flight, and it's one flight I've been wanting to take for a while now, but it is ridiculously expensive to get on, even in economy. Yes, I have flown Jetstar to Uluru, not from Sydney. Well, technically from Sydney, but I have flown from Melbourne to Uluru, or Ayers Rock, and then Ayers Rock or / Uluru to Sydney on Jetstar. Both flights were pretty good. The Jetstar flight from Uluru to Sydney lands just as the sun sets, approximately 6 o'clock. Well, obviously not in this time. You good there? Yeah, I will admit we're kind of sniffly at the moment, but yeah, the flight was good. It's some great views as well. It's just your typical Jetstar flight, nothing special. No, not a lot of action at the moment. However, we do have a LATAM 787 departing for Santiago de Chile in a few moments. Because we've been out here for nearly 1.5 hours, or for just over 1.5 hours, our fingers, they're so slow and so cold. Remember what I wore when we went to mid-May?
Yeah.
I was considering wearing that. I would have frozen. I would have died.
Oh no, yeah, 100%. Mid-May was warm. This is dead.
Yeah. So, does anyone have any questions for me? Oh, look who's online! Look who's online! What's your last name again? Hi, Mr. Verdict. For those who don't know, Mr. Verdict, the person that's gone, oh my god, blah, 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 is this one's mother. Don't ruin her, please. Oh my god, it's so cold.
We are dying. It is deadly.
And now, departing off 34 left is LATAM Airlines Flight 810 to Santiago de Chile. Oh, you can definitely tell that that plane is heavy. I have to admit, despite the wind, it is a rather beautiful day. I mean, you can if you want, but it's going to be cold. It's even worse in summer because it's ridiculously hot. So currently, being pulled onto the international apron is an Etihad 787-9, which will later this evening be departing for Abu Dhabi. Oh, I've just realized Sydney Airport has now currently changed its runways. The main runway is now no longer going to be used for for flights. We will now be using the east-west runway, which means we will be using that runway all the way to over there. So the plan has changed. We probably will be going to the Park Royal. I will figure it out later once the stream has stopped, and I will consider the options. But for now, we're going to have a change in weather. Change in runway, sorry.
Oh my god.
I want to check the winds here in Sydney. Whoa. The winds at the moment are currently 300 degrees, 25 knots. 25 knots is 25 nautical miles per hour, which is, in conversion, .46.3 kilometers per hour. That's the winds that we're dealing with. Cathay Pacific is a fantastic airline. I flew on the exact same flight myself, except I flew to Osaka on a... Oh my god! Whoa! Yeah! So yes, Cathay Pacific... Okay, we're definitely gonna have to move. Okay, just letting everyone know we will not be staying here. We have 15 minutes left of the stream, and then we will 100% be moving locations. To those in my Discord server, check the Discord. Here we go, a 737-700 Virgin Australia Velocity flight number 519 to the Gold Coast, departing off runway 25. We will make do what we can with the current weather conditions. Sorry, oh, and I kind of cut myself off. Cathay Pacific is a fantastic airline to fly on. I flew on the same route, Sydney to Hong Kong, then onwards to Japan. It was really, really good. Great food. I flew in premium economy for the first leg, so it was a little bit of an elevated experience. In hindsight, I should have flown on the nighttime flight. That way I could have taken full advantage of the premium economy seat. But the daytime flight was very nice. I had some great food, including some chicken satay with peanut sauce, which was really, really good. A330 taxiing out. Currently taxiing on Alpha is QF19, which is flying to Manila in the Philippines. Also departing off runway 25 is, arriving on runway 25 is Velocity Flight 518 from the Gold Coast. Victor Hotel, Victor Uniform X-Ray. I can also see that up at the cargo bays, we have Qantas Flight 7525, which is an A330-200 freighter, one of the newly converted freighters, used to be a passenger, flying to Hong Kong. I'll see if I can zoom in for you. There you go. There you go. Shit. Vinny's phone just fell. How much you battery out?
63.
Oh, you got plenty.
Plenty for me.
Plenty for me at the. Oh! I'm at 100%. Yeah. Alright, and now departing off runway 25, Jetstar Flight 607, bound for Avalon. Quite the rocky departure. It's actually quite rare that the east-west runway is operating. The winds have to be fairly strong for them to be operating on this runway. So this is quite a rare day. Yes, I did choose today to stream, but I had zero clue that this was going to happen. Oh no, this is lucky. This is considered lucky. Currently crossing runway 16 right. Oh no, sorry, that is the flight from the Gold Coast. So that's not particularly too special. Is everyone enjoying the stream so far?
Yes.
I know you are. Salton, what's that? Yeah. I don't know if so. To non-av geeks, the reason why aircraft depart into the wind, or the reason why, that the runways have changed, is not because they want to make things difficult for us plane spotters. It's really so that they can get as much lift as possible. That's the primary reason. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. I've got a question. Is it really windy for you guys on stream? Just arriving on runway 25 is an Airbus A321 Jetstar A321, sorry, coming in from Cairns as Jetstar Flight 951. This flight has actually arrived almost half an hour early. Correct, that is very true, Avis. So we have a lineup of aircraft at the moment. So first of all, about to depart off runway 25 is Qantas Link Flight 2177, or just simply QantasLink Flight 177 Delta, is a Dash 8 Q400 bound for Merimbula, or Merimbula, however the hell you pronounce it. We have quite the lineup of jets over at runway 25. Vinny just told me it's not easy, and yes, he's correct, it's not easy. I don't know how Sid Squad does it. Yeah, Owen, don't come here. Oh! A brief moment when there's zero wind. I spoke too soon, it's come straight back.
You jinxed it. I was enjoying the sun on my back for a minute. Actually warming me up. You just had to jinx it.
Sorry. And now, currently rolling on runway 25 is QantasLink Flight 5. Not QantasLink, Qantas Flight 593, coming in from the Gold Coast. This aircraft departed an hour and 7 minutes ago, and generally followed the eastern coastline of Australia, passing over several different small towns like Musselwell Brook. I know, it does. Vinny just said that a minute feels like forever here, and yeah, he's right, it does feel like forever. Alright, and about to depart off runway 25 is QantasLink Flight 737, which also is a 737. Bound for Adelaide in South Australia. Currently rolling, we can just see her tail. This aircraft registration is Victor Hotel, Victor Zulu Papa, which I also happen to have flown on before in the past. So, about to touch down on runway 25, not in just a few moments, I can just see it over the trees, is another new aircraft for the stream. But firstly, rolling off runway 25 is Qantas Flight 19, bound for Manila in the Philippines, an Airbus A330-200. Beautiful takeoff. I don't know if Vinny also heard, but there was quite a deep boom bass as that aircraft rolled off the runway. Callum, go away. here we go. Just about to touch down onto runway 25 is Qantas Link flight 1810 coming in from Launceston in Tasmania. I was about to say Hobart there. It's also one of the longer Embraer aircraft. It's also new for the stream. Victor Hotel X-Ray Victor Bravo. Generally speaking, this flight is actually operated by the Airbus A220. However, for some reason today, I'm not sure why the Embraer E190 is operating it. But, you know, always new to see something different.
Oh my god, this wind is making it so hard. Because I'm pushing against the camera to fight the wind, and also the wind stops and the camera goes down.
Not far now. Not long now. We've only got about 15 minutes to go. 15 minutes to go. Yeah, you can. I will fully accept that. High. I know. No, getting out. Hell no. Callum, I get it. You don't live in Sydney. Thanks, mate. And rolling off runway 25, Qantas flight 7525, otherwise known as an Australian Post aircraft, which is flying to Hong Kong. This flight is operated by Express Freighters Australia. One of these days, my new car is going to be on one of those. Yeah, to those who don't know, I thought I pulled the cable out of the thing for a second then. But I bought a new car recently, and it's currently being made in Japan, and it's going to be shipped back to Australia through Hong Kong, which I found out. One second. So, about to touch down onto runway 25 is Jetstar Flight 913, which also happens to be the Flying with Pride livery. It's also an A320. This one here is coming in from Townsville. Townsville is actually an RAF base up in North Queensland, near Cairns. It also happens to be one of the worst places in Queensland, in my opinion. And here we go. It's very hard to see from Shep's Mound, but I can just make out the Flying with Pride words on the aft end of the aircraft. I have bought a Toyota Corolla 2025 hatchback. I'm very much looking forward to driving it. It's a great car. Alrighty, about to roll off runway 25 is Qantas Flight 520 going to Brisbane. And shortly followed by that, Qantas Flight 1412, or just 412 Delta, to Toowoomba Wellcamp Airport. This is one flight I've been wanting to take for a very, very long time, as it's very unique. This also happens to be a de Havilland, Canada, -8 Q400 Delta, the backbone of the QantasLink fleet. On flight radar 24, I can see Scoot flight number 3 about to depart for Singapore. It should be taxiing past us fairly shortly. I'm unsure whether or not this aircraft is going to be flying. Interesting. I don't know if this aircraft is going to be departing off runway 34 left or from the runway 25. I guess we'll find out in a few minutes, or rather 10 minutes or so. So we've hit the 2-hour mark, which means that this stream it's not over yet. We're currently waiting on one major departure to happen, which will be the Malaysian A330. Currently rolling off runway 25 is Qantas Flight 649, bound for Perth. Cheers, thanks Aris. Flying with me livery. And rolling again, or rather arriving, is Qantas Flight 521 from Brisbane, a Boeing 737-800. Whoa, you should hear those tires squeak. I have never heard that ever in my life. In the 23 years I've been looking at aircraft, I have never in my life heard a Qantas 737's tires squeak on landing. Sounds like Tokyo Drift or something. I can just hear the engines of an A320 spooling up. Let's have a look. Currently rolling off runway 25 is Victor Hotel, Victor Whiskey, an Airbus A321 bound for Melbourne. This specific aircraft will be flying to Melbourne's Tullamarine Airport. It always makes me nervous seeing an A321 depart, as I always feel like there's going to be a tail strike. But those pilots, damn, they do a good job. We currently have 4 aircraft waiting to depart off a runway 25, including a Rex Saab 340, 2 Virgin Australia 737s, and a Qantas 737 bound for Auckland. Currently rolling off runway 25 is Velocity Flight 1419, bound for Cairns in far north Queensland. If you remember, I recently flew, well, not recently, in the last 6 months or so, I flew to Japan with Virgin Australia. I initially wanted to take this specific flight up to Cairns in business class, but unfortunately the business class flight was way too expensive, nearly double the price. So I opted to fly instead first to Melbourne, stay overnight at my mate's place, and then catch an early morning Virgin flight to Cairns for just under $400 for the business class flight. A 3-hour business class flight, not a bad price, honestly. Damn, Sydney Airport is just pumping out these departures. It's just one after another, after another, after another. Rolling off runway 25 now is Qantas flight 145, bound for Auckland in New Zealand. About a 3-hour flight time. Hope they enjoy it. Hope there's some good food on board. You might also notice that on the aft end of the aircraft is a massive hump before the tail. That is actually the Wi-Fi on board. So that is a Wi-Fi enabled aircraft. Unfortunately, it won't be switched on for this flight because there is no cover between over the Tasman Sea. But if it were departing domestically, yeah, they would turn it on. Cheers, MG Flyer. I can just see off in the distance the Scoot 787-9 is currently taxiing out to runway 25. Whether they actually taxi out to runway 25 will remain to be seen. Currently departing off runway 25 is Velocity Flight 55-7, bound for Perth. Should take them approximately 4.5, maybe 5 hours to get there. It's also a Victor Hotel Victor Uniform Whiskey, which is also another aircraft that I have flown on. Currently rolling, or actually rather airborne off runway 25 is Rex Flight 6372, bound for Port Macquarie. This aircraft is actually one of the older Saab 340s in the fleet. This aircraft was built in 1995 and is 30 years old. Actually, this month is the birthday of this aircraft, so it's exactly 30 years old today. Well, not specifically today, but this month. Wow, this is interesting. Currently landing on runway 25 is Qantas Link Flight 902, a de Havilland Canada -8Q 300, arriving from Adelaide. This is a very, very rare thing to see. The Dash 8 does not fly that far, nor does it fly between Adelaide and Sydney. A very rare thing to see here, folks. Alrighty all, I think we've hit the final departure today for this first half of the stream, which will be Scoot Flight TR3, a 787-9 bound for Singapore. After this, we are going to be taking a 1-hour break, give or take, where we will be having some lunch, going to the bathroom, and then moving to our next location, which is yet to be known. It more than likely will be either, depending on the wind, will be either the Old Control Tower, or Krispy Kremes. If you are in Sydney and you would like to join me, you are more than welcome to do so. Well, happy birthday to you, Aris. Vinny is dying. We're almost there. I mean, I'm not dying, but I'm getting there. Yeah, I know. Scoot stinks too.
The only reason you're not dying yet is because you've got more on your body than me.
Yeah, I know, because I got fat.
What is new here, by the way?
Pardon? Oops. Okay, here we go. The final departure of the first half of the stream. Scoot, flight TR3, bound for Singapore. And as Vinny films this, I will give my final remarks on the first half. Thank you all so much for attending the first half of the stream. Vinny and I will be back in approximately 1 hour's time after, you know, we do what we need to do. You are all more than welcome to join us. This stream will be posted to YouTube later today once I figure things out. Thank you all so much for joining, and I will see you again very soon. Take care, everyone.